And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of ESL Open Cup Europe, number 217. It's been a couple of hours. It's been like 4 hours since our last broadcast, and now we have returned with some more StarCraft action, and I am here for it. And we have quite a match before us. We have spawning in the top left-hand corner, the Polish Terran player, the pink Terran. It is Flexy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the orange Zerg player from the land of Canada, representing clan BBE. It is Shiny. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. So yes, it is good to be here. It's good to be back once again. Again, we had merely a short break, from casting for a couple of hours, and now we're back. We have returned. We're here with some more StarCraft, as we usually do. As always, we are here. We are ready. We are in the first round of the ESL Open Cup Europe. Again, we're still in the earlier phases of the game, of the tournaments. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket, it's big, it's huge, it's massive. A lot of players are getting involved. A lot of amateur players, a lot of pro players, a lot of semi-pros as well. It's great to see everyone getting involved in our European weekly tournament. Again, it is a weekly. Every week we do see the best of the best in Europe duke it out, at least most of them. There are some that are suspiciously missing, I haven't noticed. When it comes to our regulars here, when it comes to the European regulars at least, I believe Clem is MIA. I could have missed him on the bracket, definitely. !B for the bracket yourselves, but I could have missed him. I believe Clem is missing, Rainer is missing, Lambo is missing, if I'm not mistaken. I think the three of those are not here. I saw some of the notables being Hero Marine and Max Pax, alongside Geralt and Cristiano. So we'll see if any others do pop up that I may have just glossed over and maybe missed out on. For now, we do see a Rax Expand standard opener out of Flexy. Meanwhile, we have Shiny instead of going for a Hatch Gas Pool into his own gases as well, or eventually. So yeah, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener from our Zerg, standard opener from our Terran as well. Again, Flexy is a player that we casted earlier in the week, as we get a drone kill, big pickoff already. We casted Flexy earlier, but he was playing Protoss, so I should ask him what his main race is, because he was playing Protoss amongst pro players. Here amongst a more amateur player, he's playing Terran, so maybe he's a race picker, maybe his main race is Terran, who's just having fun with Protoss. Yet to be determined. As across the map, it is going to be a third CC before Starport. Very economic opener, from our Terran player at least. Is going to be the economic opener. Meanwhile, Shiny working on his own third base, just working on that next step. Nothing too wild from him either. Nothing too crazy, Poppy, nothing too crazy. And yeah, from here, we're just going to be settling into our game. There's really not much to really sift into at the moment. We do have our Starport as a follow-up after that third TC. Likewise, Shiny back at home, just going to be droning on up as well, not doing anything too crazy either. Just droning, going to be saturating his bases. Likewise, he's pulled out of gas for the most part, so we're not rushing into a fast lair, we're not rushing into fast roaches, nothing of the sort. We're playing less standard, Papi. And Flexy, waiting for him to really pop off. And there it is. We're going for an add-on swap. He has Hellions, at least initially, for map control. So Hellions and Reapers are going to be moving out across the map. Likewise, with the add-on swap, we're going to be getting into a Banshee follow-up. Oh my. So Banshees are going to be on the horizon here, at least from Flexy. We'll see if Shiny can get a read on this and prepare in time. Again, I'm a little bit less familiar with Shiny. We've cast a lot more Flexy in our time. At least as Protoss, to be fair. So I expect a little bit more from him. He is GM. Shiny, I'm a little bit less familiar with, so I'm ready to be introduced. I'm ready for it. Just catching up. Just see the Hellions just going to be poking and prodding wherever they can. Oh! Heading towards that main base. There's only two Hellions. They can't really threaten too much, but we're at least keeping Shiny busy as we're droning. We do have a lair first here from Shiny. Okay, that was a bit of an earlier lair timing, around 420-ish. So a little bit earlier than normal, but only slightly. This should still be leading into a Baneling Nest, I imagine, then into delayed Evo Chambers. So a very safe opener by Shiny. At least I'm assuming this is a safe opener. I'm assuming we're not going into something crazy like 2-base Muta. It could still be possible. could still be. There it is, the Baneling Nest. So, yep, there's Baneling Nest. Basically, the nest is lined up with the lair to get right into Baneling speed as soon as possible, and then we get into delayed 1-1 upgrades. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they do distract the Queens, and the Banshee's moving in, but we do spot it. Big scout there as well. I mean, it was revealed to the army. Spore crawlers are now on the way. There weren't any spores ready. There could have been damage done. Speaking of the helis, they dive into the mineral and they try to push in, but they are going to be denied. Gonna be 9. So just messaging some of the players here, but we do get 3 drones in total. We catch a queen off of creep at the same time. That Banshee is going ham, by the way. The Banshee getting a surprising amount done here on that 4th base. Meanwhile, creep is being receded. We do have a scan outside the bases. Ling's gonna try to keep up here, and we do manage to get one of those Hellions, but lasts only 1 Hellion. Behind this, the hatchery taking a lot of damage here from the Banshees. We do have a Spore, we have detection, but oh god! We force a cancel. Big moment there for Flexy, canceling that 3rd base at the same time. Oh, sorry, it's just an Overseer. I saw something orange. I was like, yo, are we going for a run by? Not quite, just an Overseer chilling. Helis, they're still not dealt with. No! We're supply blocked! We have supply blocked. We roast up some drones. They line up, 6 drones go down. The barbecue is real. Finally, we can clean up these Helis, but they get a little bit more done. Extra volley goes off, and it looks like we get 6 drones all in all. The Hellions finally get shut down. The 4th base is restarted, and Shiny can stabilize, but Shiny sustained a lot of damage. Looking at the unit slots tab, 10 drone kills in total, 2 queens, and a cancelled 4th base. And behind this, Flexy is happily just saturating his bases, getting his workers going, and working towards his eventual stim push. Stim push is on the horizon here. Shouldn't take too long to really get going. But that shouldn't take too long. As there it is, speaking of. I was like, I'm like, okay, we're going to be heading out soon. Here we go. The medevacs are fully filled up. We do have stim completed here for Flexy. Is moving out immediately. Now, what's important is that he is keeping the rest at home. What I mean by that, actually no tank production here for Flexy, going in towards Widowmines instead. Widowmine production has commenced. Back at home, Shiny amassing his queens, re-droning. We do have an infestation, bit of hydrogen. We're taking up quite quickly, actually. I'm not so sure if I'm fond of this, but basically Shiny's working towards the infestation bit, towards the hydrogen, towards hive tech, while he's still building up his army. Shiny is vulnerable right now. We don't have a lot of Ling Bane. We have 7 Banelings. There we go. The drop is pushing in. We are going to be moving forward. We catch a couple of tumors. Tumors are going to be going down. We stim on forward to try to get a queen. So far, the queens, they stand strong. Widowmines have borrowed. Up. A decent connection on some of the Banelings, but we do force this back. Shiny, he does hold. But look at Flexy here, as the macro just does not stop. We load up another double drop towards the south. Meanwhile, again, Shiny is still droning up. Now working towards Hydras, but we have very little Ling Bane. That's what I'm concerned about. Rushing into Hydras like this without too much Ling Bane to support is concerning. And Flexy can trade very well against this kind of army. Again, Hydras, they're a backbone of the army, true, but we need some meat in between ourselves and the Terran. The medevac. Medevac is going to be able to escape. Is going to head on back here, and here we go. We do have a double drop towards the south. We do have the main army pushing towards the north. We catch an overload. We're going straight for the 4th base at the same time, threatening that 3rd. And what does Shiny react to? How does he respond? He's amassing his army at his 3rd base, which means that's going to be a kill on the 4th. Big pig off there by Flexy. Shows Widowmines. Good connection on Lings, not so much on Banelings. But damage has been dealt, and Flexy from here can push towards the 3rd. I guess I'll say this is the 3rd, and up here is the 4th. So the 5th was killed. Trading well here against the drones. 5 workers go down the mines. Ooh. Lings, they take a big hit from those Widowmines, and we are pulling Shiny apart left and right again. The Hydras didn't help too much here. We needed more Ling Bane. We were just a little bit too greedy. The Queen is going to be falling. Even catching more of these Overlords. No. So they do trickle into the Bio Army. Hydras pushing forward. Forcing back at least the Hellbats and forcing the pickup towards the south. It looks like we also force the pickup as well. But Flexy's been banking his army back at home. That's a lot of Marines, a lot of Widowmines. It's basically a purely Marine mine army. And against this kind of army, you do just need Ling Bane. Like, Hydras don't really help too much against this. They don't really add too much. I mean, they help against the Widowmines, but against the Mass Bio, we need some Ling Bane, papi. Or I guess some Lurkers. And we're going for the Lunkers. Banshee's in the main base. They pick up a couple of workers. We are pushing right through the center. Lurker Den is on the way, but it's not going to be done in time. Not for the first push. Not for this push. Banshee's rolling in. Mine Shot's going to be baited out for the most part. And no big connections from those Widow Mines. We force back the army. We're amassing more Ling Bane. You can see here Shiny. Ooh, have we been losing queens? 7 queens. We're missing injects. We've been missing injects here. The macro is slipping. Shiny has 2,000 minerals, by the way. We need to spend it. We need to spend those minerals. We have only a little bit of lava. 8 lava here. Again, the macro has been slipping. I guess the supply block doesn't help. Yeah, 3 more overlords on the way. And because we can't spend our money, Flexy is maxed out. He's maxed out. We're pushing on forward. Shiny in quite a bit of trouble here. We are in some trouble. As Flexy threatens the stim. Bailey's coming in. Oh! Bailey's, they roll in. We get some decent connections on the Marines, but the splits are good. The spread is good. We clean up some of the Ling Bane. Likewise, Flexy getting his planetary up and running. He's on 4 bases. Shiny recovering economically, joining up to 82. And again, Shiny, he has his bank. If he's able to build up his army, if he's able to spend his money, then he can hold, he can defend. Despite these losses, Shiny, he's still holding his own. As Flexy's still rallying across the map. Finally, we can see Flexy starting to diversify his army. He's got tank production well underway, making 2 tanks at a time. Against Ling Bane Hydra, it is a better composition. We catch some of the overlords. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4 overlords go down, almost a 5th. As we catch a lurker, we get 1, we get 2, we get 3. 3 lurkers go down. Nice pickoffs here from Flexy. Did take some spines to the face. You can see how softened up this army is. You can see how well lurkers can perform against Marines. Yeah, they force them back. Shiny, we're holding. With the power of the Lunker, I was afraid we wouldn't get here. I was terrified we would not survive long enough to get into lurkers, but no, we have arrived. The lurkers are amassing. Shiny, he's holding. And now we're getting into the rest of our lurker upgrades. Meanwhile, Flexy, upon seeing these lurkers, I do like the transition to tank, but we need Ghost Academy. We need a Ghost Academy. We need some ghosts. Ghost Academy is done, but where are the ghosts? Nowhere to be found. Not yet. Wait, what? Crazy. Second Ghost Academy is on the way. We do crash our Banelings into a well-split group of Marines. Likewise, Ling Bane getting ready for a counterattack towards the planetary. At the same time, Flexy stimming on in. Gets a kill on the 4th. Now, this planetary is so exposed, we can crash into it. Instead, we find some reinforcements. Tank is going to be going down. Banelings, they go for the middle lines instead. We're trading a base for a base of lurkers. They burrow in time. And they're within range of the tank. Tank is going to be going down. Banelings, they crash into the natural, in towards the main base. But we need some economic damage, and they do get in. Yeah, probes are going 27 probes. Oh my god. And Flexy, upon seeing these lurkers, he has to turn back around. He has to race back home. And Shiny, can we catch the army? We want to catch those tanks. Yeah, tanks are going to be lifted. Flexy still on a healthy worker count, still on a healthy base count as well. His bases did survive, only losing SCVs. Only losing workers. Meanwhile, Shiny's production has been negatively affected here. He has been losing bases. Has to rebuild. Has to reroute his workers. Oh. Speaking of, lurkers are going to be retreating. Flexy's still maxing out with more tanks. Now, with the arrival of these tanks, without any ghosts, by the way, still no Ghost Academy. Well, Ghost Academy, there's 2 of them, but still no ghosts. With all these tanks, we need Vipers. We need Blighting Clouds. We need those Vipers to help support. So without them, it's going to be difficult to engage. I won't stop Shiny, though. Marines are coming in. And we're collapsing here on these tanks. Ooh, big mine shots on the lurkers. 3 lurkers go down instantly. But the Lings, they're getting on top of the tanks. It looks like we are barely focusing them down. We clean up the tanks. We clean up the Marines. It was a messy fight for Shiny, but he does hold. And we have enough lurkers left over. Yeah, the army just rallies on in. And Shiny, he has reestablished these bases. We need to get back to mining. Trying to catch a tank. Oof. Bleeding out a lurker. Again, we feel the pressure on. We need to keep on pushing. I mean, that's how we feel at least. You have to be very careful not to trickle on in, though. Yeah, tank is sieging. Lings are flooding forward. We get on top of the tank. Tank goes down. The lurkers are breaking through. And Shiny, have we done it? Have we broken the back of Flexy? It looks like we may barely have. Again, Flexy was in so much control earlier, but Shiny now popping off with the power of the lunker. Let's go. Who needs Vipers? Who needs them? Again, our bases are getting back up and running for the most part, getting back and saturated on 91 workers. Flexy is remaxing, getting more Banelings, amassing more Lings, getting a couple of Hydras out. Likewise, Flexy does have a decent amount of tanks. Here come the Ghosts. Pushing on forward. As we chase back the army. You can see we're still amassing more. Vipers finally on the way. We were missing them for so long. And Vipers will be a secure way to clean this up. To shut this down. Again, Flexy, he's remaxing. He still has a good economy. Not amazing, but good. And again, I would love to see us just rotate over towards this planetary. Like, this planetary is so exposed. It's been so exposed for so long. Instead of pushing into this tank line, we're at least going towards the north. Where second planetary is finishing. Or second orbital, sorry. They all look so similar. With this skin. But the Banes, they crash into the planetary. We bring it down. Let me get the hell out of there. At the same time, ooh, lurkers, they do harass across the map. They get in towards that fourth base, towards that southern base. Yeah, we came to the production. The Ghosts, no, they're going down as they pop. Disrupting the Ghost production. Oh, it looks like the lurkers towards the south were cleaned up. That was a pretty hefty loss there for Shiny. And this is not the fight to take, running into tanks. Oof. This is not what we needed here. Shiny bleeding out a lot of Ling Bane. And getting his lurkers caught out. Yeah, Snipes, they bring one down. As we pull back, we're amassing more Hydras, more Ling Bane. Flexy, he's on a bit of a timer though. In the sense that Flexy, his economy is in shambles. He doesn't have much mining going on. He doesn't have a bank. One bad fight that could be if Vipers. They have arrived though. Vipers have arrived. Shiny can pull this off with some good blinding clouds. Northern Hatchery going to be going down. We barely were mining it, to be fair. It was barely mining. And there are the blinding clouds on every single tank. Yeah, tanks are falling. Bailey's, they head towards the Bio Army. And every tank goes down. A good cleanup there by Shiny. Liberator doing what it can. We have expanded towards the south. Oh, another Liberator does rock up though. And we need to deal with this. There we go. Liberator does fall. Shiny doesn't have the most efficient mining going on right now. This northern base has been left idle. We see Flexy re-expanding. I do think he could have lifted up his main and floated over to his fifth. Definitely would have been viable. The space is still quite low as well. But you can see Shiny just focusing on re-spreading his creep, re-establishing himself. Spreading as much creep as he can. The scan reveals the base, and we have to protect it. Flexy's on the way. Ling Bane rotating over as well. Would you rotate over? How many tanks do we have? 4. 4 tanks here for Flexy. We're still vulnerable to blinding clouds. Have a decent ghost count. We are coming in. Tanks are sieged. Ooh, a bit of miscontrol there out of Shiny, leaving his army alone. Drone's going to be pulling back. Vipers have arrived. They're full of energy. Tanks are still sieged, by the way. A bit of an awkward push, but we do dive in. Yeah, tanks, they are going to be going down. Show us the blinding clouds. EMP on some of the Vipers. Lurkers are getting in position. How many lurkers do we have? 1? Ooh, 1 lurker. We need some more lunkers, Pappy. There it is. 11 more lurkers. He heard me. You know. Did hear me, does know. As Flexy is re-establishing this northern base, he still has an economy, but you can see that, again, he's running out of steam, he's running out of bank, running out of resources. Flexy is feeling pretty all in. Good siege line here of Liberators. The Freedom has arrived. Snipes going off in the lurkers. Freedom is is here. Viper is just going to be gathering up that energy. More liberation zones being thrown down. Oh. A couple of yoinks, but the counter EMP. Not the best use of those Vipers. You can see the Liberators slowly sieging forward here. Flexy does have now a better army. And we need anti-air. How many Hydras do we have? Only 6. Without too much anti-air, this army is going to be forced back. We're going for the dive. Bold move. We come in from behind. We collapse on the ground army. We clean up the Ghosts and the Marines. We clean everything up, but where is the anti-air? Non-existent. Liberators, they rain down from the sky. We push on forward. We need Hydras. And Shiny having a hard time remaxing the Power Bomb. Oh my god. Doing quite a lot here to the Metamax. Base is being forced back. Shiny resaturating towards the north. More Hydras on the way. Oh, the Queens are a little bit late to the party. Yeah, Queens are shut down. Do we have any injecting Queens? Yeah, we do, thankfully. We have some at least. As we do need a remax. Again, you can see here that the production and the macro of Shiny is really hurting him. As you can see, like, we have a lot of larva. We have a lot of larva that isn't being spent. I'm uncertain if maybe the hatchery is on hotkey, but Shiny needs to spend his bank. He has a bank, by the way. He has a very lot. He's got 4k gas. We can make more Hydras. We can throw down a Spire. We can make something happen here. We just need to spend our money. Wait, I don't. Oh, good. This is becoming quite close. Closer than it should be. There we go. Now 42 Lings on the way. If we had an issue with hotkeys, it looks like maybe we have fixed it. Lings are in production. Re-establishing these bases. Flexy can still win a fight and win the game. Like, he's not out of this yet. Shiny having a really hard time defending these bases. Flexy is about to deny them, by the way. Shiny is out of position. And if we lose this base, we may as well take one of Flexy's. But we're going to be rotating back over. Force a cancel. Liberators are in position. We're coming in too soon. The Lings! Oh, Lings are going to be going down. Ay, ay, ay. Shiny is remaxing once the 28 Lings are done. The Vipers! Decent EMPs. We throw down a Panic Blinding Cloud. Not the best use of that energy. Flexy has the more efficient army. Decent spread here with the tanks, but they're still susceptible to Blinding Clouds. So we do have a little bit of Lurker Harass. Very important here. The Shiny forces back the attention. And now we can collapse on this. Do we have many Hydras? 16. We have a decent Hydra count. More Queens going to be falling. We're going to be expanding towards the south. That's the main base. Main base has been floated over. And Shiny doesn't know. Doesn't know that Flexy has a good economy now. With a fresh mining base, arguably be better than Shiny's. They're setting up first round. Again, a bit of an awkward engagement here. Bailings not coming in from the best angle. The Lurkers are exposed. 1 Lurker, 2 Lurkers, 3 Lurkers go down. But we clean up the tanks. We force back the army. Shiny was able to shut down the main army at least, but we need to do something about the economy. He has not scouted this, doesn't know. That's terrifying. But does he now? He does! He saw with the Overlord. Is aware Lings, they should shut down this base. And now it's going to be Flexy's turn to be out of position. Yeah, workers are going to be going down. We're setting up for a push here towards the south. Flexy racing back over. Keeping some supply to harass. Flexy has the wherewithal yet to hit top right, which is exposed. At the same time, Lings, they do head towards the north, catch some reinforcements, but this drop could do damage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So even though Shiny kills 24 SCVs, which is good, Shiny, he may lose as many drones up here. Yeah, this singular drop is going to get so much damage done. Drones are going down. At the same time, we do push in. These tanks are so exposed. We missed the tanks. We missed them. We're going for the natural. There's nothing there. So once again, a bit of an awkward fight. But we do catch the tanks. Nonetheless, Bailing's rolling in towards the buyer. The Lings all go down. Again, it was very haphazard. It was very disjointed. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Where the Lings got thrown away, but we got the tanks, so it was a good trade nonetheless. Meanwhile, top right base has fallen. And Flexy is going for another base, and he's going to get it. Shiny's trying to come back home. 28 drones. 30 drones going to be going down, and the hatchery as well. And Flexy's still in this. He's down. He's down to one mining base. He's down to half a mining base. But he's getting damage done. We catch out the Vipers. We're catching the Lurkers as well. Got a very messy game. But Shiny should still have this. Should still be in the bag for our Zerg player. Just should. Big shit on that one. There we go. The Lunkers are coming. Basically, this northern base is the only thing keeping Flexy in this. And even then, he's barely hanging on. Barely hanging on, but... See Shiny double expanding. I believe that this southern base is fully saturated, thankfully. Yeah, we're going to be collapsing on the planetary. It's going to be going down. Planetary does fall. Bailey's a crash into the mineral line, and that's going to be all she wrote. Flexy, his economy almost non-existent at this point. Is no longer there. Going for a desperation move here, harassing across the map. Getting a couple of drones. I mean, he does get a base. To be fair, does kill a base. He could get another. Shiny racing on over. This is the rough thing about Site Delta, is that the corners of the map are so far apart. It takes so long to rotate over on this map. Sniper Viper. Yeah, we dive on the army. Tank's going to be going down. We see Flexy doing his best here to just micro these 3 medevacs. I mean, he just killed 2 bases, right? Like, he just killed hatcheries. Like, he is getting damage done. Honestly, all Shiny has to do is defend his mining bases. That's all he has to do. Bottom right, defend this base, with even though there's only a couple of patches. And more importantly, keep an army towards the top right. Like, that's all he needs to do. Just maintain this economy and then max out. Meanwhile, Flexy, again, he's trying to catch him out. If Shiny's a little bit too active, then he might be pulled apart, especially if he doesn't leave any army. Speaking of, Shiny moving out towards the bottom left. Top right is exposed. Top right, there's nothing here. Oh, there's 3 lurkers, though. That's something. We catch out the queens. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. We need to protect top right. We only lose 3 lurkers. That's not enough. 3 lurkers is not enough. We're racing back home. The hatchery's going to be going down. Yeah, the hatchery will fall. But here comes the main army. Let's go. We finally catch out Flexy. We clean up that lib. We take down a medevac. GG gets called, and Shiny will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Let's go. Oh my god, that was a bit of a shaky game, not gonna lie. I was very concerned. But GG, well played. Whew. Shiny does come out on top here. Again, Flexy initially had a lot of control. You can even see here, if we have a look at the graph, you can see Flexy, he's our pink player. He, again, had quite a substantial moment for himself, but alas, it did slip away. I will say that Shiny's macro was quite lacking. It was really concerning at times, but he was able to keep up and was able to make a game out of it. And maintain himself for the most part. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2. I do like this because it feels like both players are pretty evenly matched. Both players are they seem very close in skill. Let's have a look here. Flexy is 5.2. Shiny is, assuming they're both active on the European ladder, Shiny is around 5k. Pretty similar. Similar overall, and We'll see if we can go the distance. We'll see if we can go all the way to the ace match, or if it all ends here, and if Shiny can get the 2-0. We are here to find out. I'm asking. I'm gonna ask Flexy. What his main race is. Just because I think the last time I casted him, he played Protoss. Oh, he's telling me mostly Terran. Okay, okay. So it looks like he's a bit of a race picker. He says he doesn't like TvT, so he plays Protoss against Terran. Okay. Oh wait, no! Not like this. Apparently we're being told here that Shiny... something came up. No, apparently something came up and Shiny is going to be giving a walkover. Ah. No, papi. So apparently Shiny, something came up and Shiny is unavailable. Apparently, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what. Hopefully, everything's okay and it's nothing too serious IRL. But apparently, something came up and Shiny does have to leave. And Flexy gets the walkover. GG. I mean, congratulations to Flexy as Flexy comes out on top. But I would have loved to have seen a series. Like that was a really nice game one. Again, it did feel like both players were pretty similarly skilled, and I wanted more, but yeah, unfortunately, it looks like something did occur, and Flexy will get the walkover. Shiny, I wish Shiny the best. Again, hopefully nothing serious, and hopefully we're able to see more of Shiny in the future. GG, well played. With that, Flexy will advance on into the next round against Cristiano. Ooh, in a Polish versus Polish match. Let's